Hey everybody, it's Zach Hurst with EV Resource, and today we're doing a 70-mile-an-hour range test with this brand new 2023 Texas-made Tesla Model Y long range. All right, so we are at 100%. Let's check our tire pressures. So we'll go ahead and make sure we get those bumped up to where they need to be. We're gonna take a loop on I-295. It's like a half beltway, if you will, around Richmond, Virginia. So we're gonna probably take 2 full laps of this loop. My estimate is that this, in the cold, because it is January 7th, and it's 34 degrees, so this is definitely a cold weather test. I expect that we'll do roughly 240 to 250 miles. That's my take. I don't know. So while Vince is unplugging us here, I definitely want to thank Vince for letting us use his car. This vehicle, this specific vehicle, we've got only, how far have you gone on this? 1,020 miles on the odometer. So this is brand new. I'm gonna move this over a little bit. Say hi to Vince. Hi. How recently, when did you take delivery?
December 8th.
Okay, so like just about a month ago.
Yeah.
All right, brand new. Let's see how it does. So I have set the autopilot cruise control speed to 71. I have pulled up Waze on my phone and used the GPS to verify that we are actually doing 70. So ignore the numbers that you see throughout the video, and we're gonna trust the GPS more than we trust what's visible here. All right, so we are at 75% now, so let's see how we've been doing. Okay, well, it just switched over to 74%, but we've been doing pretty well. We're averaging 292 watt hours per mile. So it's currently showing a projected range of 200 miles. I don't really think we're going to do that little. That would be shocking to me, but you know, we'll see. It's not showing us any of that because we're not navigating to anything. So we'll just have to go off of that. Let's see how many miles we have left up here. 244 miles. So we'll see. I don't know. You have any predictions, Vince?
I'm going 270.
Really? Okay.
It's gonna shock us.
I don't know about that, but we'll see. We've gone 67 miles. We've been averaging 311 watt hours per mile and 21 kilowatt hours. So we'll see how things relate. All right, we just passed 50%. It like literally just switched over to 49, so we're good. 126 miles, averaging 308 watt hours per mile. We've used 39 kilowatt hours. You know, but this has been fairly comfortable so far. I mean, we've been going about 2 hours, roughly. I didn't check what time it was when we first started. I'll go back and check the timestamp on the video. So yeah, maybe I'll voice over this part with what time it was or put it up on the screen. But, you know, I haven't really noticed, you know, a rough ride. I know a lot of people are critical of the suspension on the Model Y, saying it's too rough. For me, it's comfortable. I like it. The seat's comfortable. You know, as far as a vehicle that you could take on a road trip, this is easily one that I would have no problem with. So, yeah, we're going to keep going. I'll check back in at 25% and see how well we're doing then. So we are back to 25%. It's showing us 84 miles left, which we will see. We have driven 188 miles. We've used 57 kilowatts of energy, and we're averaging 302 watt hours per mile. So that's about 3.2 kilowatt, or 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour. So at 81 kilowatt hours, which is the battery capacity for the long range Model Y, that should put us at about 260 miles, which would be about 72, am I doing my math right? Yeah, 72 miles left. This is projecting 70 miles or 71 miles left. That's based on our average of the last 30 miles. So all the math is kind of pointing to 260-ish, which would be more than I thought.
And slightly less than my very optimistic
Yes.
270.
Yes, we're not going to hit 270. But honestly, if we hit 260, that would be pretty impressive. All right, so I want to check back in at 10% here. We have gone 227 miles, used 68 kilowatt hours, averaging 301 watt hours per mile. We got 29 miles of projected range there based on the last 30 mile average. Up here, it's saying 34 miles. We got 36 miles to go before we get to the supercharger. So I do expect towards the end that we'll have to slow down a little bit. But otherwise, we're doing really well. I think there's a good chance that we will hit that 260 mile range, which honestly, this is the hottest it's been. It's 47 degrees. So for a winter range test to go 260 miles, that's still pretty impressive. So now at 6%, the car is asking us to keep charging in mind, which is wonderful. No thanks. All right, so I did just put in the supercharger as a destination because I wanted to get a little bit more information from the car. It's showing that we'll get there with negative 5%, and it's saying that in order to get there, we need to charge somewhere else. We're at 5% battery right now. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to stop, but I will slow down at 2% in order, because we've got 23 miles here and realistically 16 miles of range. So I will end up having to slow down probably, because I don't know how much further after zero we actually have. If I knew that, then I think I would help make decisions. But for the time being, I will slow down. So we'll see how we do. We might end up calling this at like 250 miles. We've gone 249, and I'm still looking at the capacity used there. So we've used 73 kilowatt hours. 81 is supposed to be the usable capacity of this battery pack. So, as with every other test that I've done for the 70 mile an hour range test, the last 10% is where things really get exciting. It's like, okay, are you going to make it? Are you not? And I don't really have range anxiety about EVs anymore. But some of those unknown variables definitely affect how I choose to kind of wrap things up. So I'm going to keep an eye mostly on the kilowatt hours here, and base that on, or base my decision making on what that says. How you feeling, Vince?
A little anxious, being the owner.
Yeah,
over here in the seat.
Don't worry, if we need a tow truck, I'll cover it. We'll get there. At this point, we're 2%. We're still showing negative 5 down here. I am slowing down because basically I want to make sure that we absolutely 100% make it. I am probably going to call this at 250 miles, I think, for the official range test number, because I don't want to end up on the side of the road, so I'm going to avoid that. So that's where we're at. 247, we'll call it 250, and I'm actually going to go and reset the trip for trip A so that we know what our new energy efficiency is.
That's fine.
And so we can calculate that out. Now, what Vince and I were just talking about is we've used 75 kilowatt hours. So is the 81 kilowatt hour battery capacity fully usable? And if so, then we will make it back to the supercharger. But if it's not, then that's where the question is. So that's why I'm slowing down. I've got the cruise set to 65 now. In another percentage, I guess, when that drops to 1%, I'm going to drop down to 60 miles an hour, and we will crawl in. But yeah, for the most part, I'm going to say 250 miles at 70 miles an hour is what is.
There's that supercharger that's 6.6 miles away.
So do we want to do that instead, or do we want to just
maybe
go? You know what? Because this isn't my car,
and the owner's having some range anxiety.
A little bit. Let's do that then. We'll go to that other charging stop.
Laburnum, I think, or whatever.
It's going to be this one right here. So we'll add that.
Let's see what Tesla tells us.
Yes, please pay attention to the road. I mean, I'm kind of working on something else here, but here, end trip, show chargers. That's the one that we want to. Nope, that's not it.
That's the one that's even closer.
That must be a new one. I didn't know that one was. Oh no, that's the other one. Yeah, that's that one. Okay, we want this one. 7 miles. All right, that's
Still
where we're gonna go.
Charging needed, but only 2%.
Yeah, and we will make it there. So that is now where we're going to end up. And we've gone 250 miles. Oh, the speed went back up. The autopilot speedometer or speed limit changed on me. So yeah, I think that 250 miles is realistic. I might bump it up to just wherever we end up, and we'll see. But 300 watt hours per mile. Yeah, you know what? We're all right. We'll make it the next 5 miles or 7 miles or 7 miles. That will be fine. Yeah, we might have made it to the other one, but now we are at officially 0%. We've got 4 miles, we'll call it 5 miles to go. I've slowed down to 60 on the highway here, and then we're 2.5 miles from the exit that we need to take, and then as soon as we get off that exit, it's 40 miles an hour speed limit. So we're gonna slow down even more. I mean,
we did get to 252.
Yeah, we're at 253 right now. 250 of that was basically going 70 miles an hour. You know, and we've got that cement mixer in front of us going slow, and I'm not even going to change lanes. I'm just going to let the Tesla slow us down here, and we're going to go slow behind that. Now we have an excuse to go slow on the highway. So I'm just going to roll with it, because going slow right now is not a bad idea.
But now we're navigating, and interestingly, it's saying we need charging, but it's not like throwing off a bunch of crazy alarms.
Yeah, that's actually something that's interesting. It's just got the little warning up there, but otherwise, it's not like
shutting things down.
Yeah, it hasn't entered into any kind of like turtle mode where it limits power. You know, I think with the Spark, it would say propulsion power reduced. You know, in other vehicles, like the Polestar has a little turtle icon that pops up. So yeah, and we're coming up on the exit. The energy in the car has changed. A little bit. Now the laughter is nervous laughter versus the jovial feeling. So it'll be interesting to see the sigh of relief.
Well, I'm interested to see how much buffer they really give us to protect us from zero.
Yeah. I mean,
like, how much are they lying to us to keep us from actually dead, you know, dropping the car?
Well, yeah, I mean, that really is like, okay, let's say 10% of the usable capacity, or 10% of the battery capacity is not usable, all right? So that would be 8.1 kilowatt hours. Well, we're already past that point. So then I really do think that 81 kilowatt hours is the usable battery capacity. This is kind of convincing me of that. So yeah, if that's the case and we only have 76 kilowatt hours that we've used, then I think still that we're going to be okay. Now, I'm not going to push it. I'm going to baby this thing the whole way there. But yeah. If any of you know that are watching this, if that 81 is usable for sure or not, leave a comment in the comment section, because I definitely, that's the only question at this point. Shut up. The only question I have.
It's used 1% with nagging us.
It feels like it. Oh my goodness. It's like I've had my mom in the car, but she has control. I love you, Mom.
So we're like 1.5 miles from the supercharger.
I mean, shoot, we could push it there if we needed to.
Yeah. Get our workout in today.
Right? Oh, look at that visualization for the FSD, though. That is so much more than you get on the basic autopilot visualization. Like, this is showing you everything. This is the first time I've been in a car with FSD. So this is the first time I'm seeing this in person.
And this is one without the radar. It's vision
only. I mean, honestly, it looks like it's seeing everything.
Pretty far out.
I think it's neat how it knows the edges of the road. The right edge is the hard edge, like there's no more road there. But then the yellow edge is the median, and it's differentiating between the two of those. That's really neat. We're gonna get more into FSD in a different video. I'm gonna do a review video and we'll include that in there. All right, so we are here at the modified endpoint. Just didn't feel comfortable going all the way back based on what the car was telling us. And the fact that really, I don't know if that 81 is usable or not. But we've used 77, so that's still pretty impressive. Average 298, but we did slow down at the end there. So I'm still gonna say that for the purposes of the test, the efficiency was between 300 and 305 watt hours per mile. 257 miles, not all of that was 70. So I think I'm gonna modify it and say 252 miles at the test, for the sake of the test. And we are at 0%.
And it just now
hit 50 degrees. Yeah, it's been colder than that all day. So, yeah, good test.
So that's the main thing.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was showing us 0. It's really saying only 30 minutes to go from 0 to 80%.
Wow. That's impressive.
That is very impressive.
Is it what, 175 right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 1%. 180. I'm just gonna take this up to peak. I'm not gonna film the whole thing. 1, because I'm holding the phone, and 2, because I do need to go inside.
Yeah, it's the perfect stopping point for me too, and my bladder.
Yes, very much so. So this should be a 250 kilowatt station.
213.
So we'll see. I think I'll probably record this up to peak and then end at that point.
What is the typical peak curve? Have you looked at that on Teslas?
I haven't. By the way, supercharging, you're gonna have noises and feel it
The pop.
under your feet.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's normal. 242.
Oh wow, it's humming.
I expect if it's a 250, I mean, nobody else is here, like completely empty. So I expect we'll see close to that. My arm is shaking. Oh, what does that say? Battery temperature low. Okay, so we might not hit that 250
because we didn't
peak.
precondition. So, but
No.
even at 240,
I mean, shoot,
with no
that's-
preconditioning
Yeah.
in 50-degree weather,
Mhm.
that's pretty good.
Yeah. All right, so I think I'm gonna record this to 10%, just because it'll
And you
be a
get to
little
hear us chatter longer.
because that's
exciting.
totally what people want. Yeah, that's exactly.
That's why I listen.
Honestly, I'm impressed. I mean, this was 200. I mean, look, any car where you can go 250 miles and then stop for a half hour and then go another 200 miles, like, that's perfectly fine. People don't need more than that. I don't know what they're talking about. So 10% in 2.5 minutes. Not bad. Hey everybody, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. You've made it to the end, but that doesn't mean that the fun needs to stop. If you like to keep up with the latest EV news and information, I definitely recommend you check out the EV Resource weekly newsletter and bi-monthly digital magazine. I'll have a link to the subscription below. It is free and will get delivered directly to your email inbox. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the EV Resource channel for more great content, the videos that you love with the vehicles that you want to know about.